This is the Drones Made Easy Map Pilot app. Generally, it's separated into two phases. You have your planning phase, which the controls are on the left over here, these panels, and the flight phase, which currently is unavailable because we're not connected to the drone. You can see up at the top it says not connected. You also can't see a range because you're not connected to the drone. The mobile device's battery is currently at 29%, but you don't have any of the other numbers. Later on, when we plug in, you'll see the red triangle, which represents the aircraft and pointing in the direction of the aircraft, and those numbers are all populated. So let's open up the flight statistics window here and set up a map to do this kind of section of a park here. So when you push and hold to add these orange boundary markers, and you can see it's kind of forming an area that we're going to go map, and then you double tap to say where you're going to take off from. This is only during the planning phase. During the flight phase, you can only take off from where the aircraft is. So I'm going to double tap here. We're not connected to the drone. Purple takeoff point is only for flight estimation. So you can see that gave us an area of 4.67 hectares. Let's get that to there. So 11.5 acres. The total flight path from the purple point to the green, which is the start point of the flight plan, to the red point, which you can see over here. There we go. You can see that's the end of it. So, and then from that red point back to the purple point. So it's the entire flight path in ground distance. It doesn't take into account any ascent or descent. It estimates that it'll take 9 minutes and 41 seconds. You can do it in one battery. It'll take 63 images during the flight. It'll take 151 points in the Maps Made Easy map processing system. Take up roughly 300 megs worth of storage. As you could see before, you can't see the gestures I'm doing, but this is the simple, the standard 2-finger rotate gesture that's common on all iOS apps. So you basically lay out your flight, and then if you have kind of a weird shape to your flight, you can adjust it. Basically, I like to make it so it doesn't have any kind of weird edges. This is kind of a super weird shape. So let's do that. Okay, so that's kind of a bad example, but you get the idea. So, but you could also see that on the after adding another boundary point, you can see that the battery number jumped up to 2. So the where you have the white line and then the gray line, that gray line is the portion of the flight that is kind of the overflow that would require a second battery. So actually, if you tap and hold and move the home point button, you can see that the second battery takes up more and more of the flight. So we can keep moving this, and all of a sudden the second battery is taking up almost half of the flight. And you can see the flight time going up and the speed. So, and again, you can rotate that. It has your start and end points. So another thing to look at is the height or the altitude above the takeoff point that the aircraft is going to fly. So this is currently set at 328 feet, which is 100 meters. We can take it down to 197 feet. Which is 60 meters, and take it up to just under 400 feet, which is basically there to... DJI doesn't let you set waypoint missions above that currently, so we have our limit is set there. But as you change this slider, you can see that the passes of the mapping run get tighter and tighter, and with more passes, more distance you fly, the number of images goes up, the number of points goes up. It's all kind of complicated, so we handle all that for you. And basically, you just pick an area and you say, okay, I want 1-inch GSD, or ground resolution. So if you want 1 inch per pixel, you slide it all the way down, and your flight plan is set.